Well, bought some new Wilson magazines, and aside for giggles, I get these black ones. Uh, look for some new magazines to fit my new Kimber. And one of the disturbing things I noticed, one of the things I noticed, well, it came with this fat bases, and I really didn't want these fat bases with my Kimber Pro Carry 2 because it's commander size, and I want to carry it concealed. One thing I noticed is after I swap these bases out, they no longer retain, and they can't be retained by either gun. So this is an old Series 70 that's been customized. And something I discovered while I was making some of these videos is just did a stand-up comparison, and the black magazine is considerably longer. So I guess if I swap the bases back, they'll work. And we're going to try that real quick. And I'll pause this and stitch the videos together. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch these bases back. I just used an Allen wrench or anything else. Pin, I couldn't quite get that to reach in there. And we're going to put the fat bases I notice these are marked with an R. These are marked with a C. C must be for compact. And now let's see if these work. Okay, that's retained. Now you learn something new every day. Yeah, that's retained. Yeah, they seem to be working perfectly. Well, if you get the idea that maybe you can swap these bases out, you're going to have to do some fitting, because this magazine is a full 1/8 or 3/16 longer than the other one. So, get the idea you can swap these base pads out. Guess not. So, that's something I just wasn't aware of. I just thought when I got these, well, I kind of wanted the black magazines for the new gun. I think we'll just have, now we have to go back and swap all these out. Luckily, Wilson makes a pretty good method for disassembling these. Okay, I finished swapping these back out again, and that's something, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a design flaw, I'd just call it something you just need to be aware of. These new black magazines, Wilson magazines I bought, are actually a good 1/8 or 3/16 of an inch longer. And they have this little guide lip here. So these bases, I'd swap them out. So I want to use the narrow base in my new magazines and my new gun. And I want, since this is a Kimber Pro Carry, its commander length, I want to carry this concealed. I'll just swap the bases out, not realizing there's a slight difference in the length. So maybe that's my fail. The bases, or these magazine bases or floor plates, they work appropriately on the magazine, just can't swap them out. And that's something I've discovered here. So I can't really point the finger at Wilson. Although when I swapped them out, I thought, well, it's just fine. And then I realized these won't seat in the gun because that has that extended lip on there. And gotta make sure that thing's back in its position. Okay, that's good. I was upset at first because I thought these magazines were absolutely identical, but they're not. The magazine body on these is match up the feed lips. As you can see there, that's a full 3/16, eighth or 3/16 longer. So at least we got that straightened out, and now I understand something, about how they engineer these. I thought that was kind of a odd ways to make the magazine body longer and then put that lip on there. But, oh well, at least we got it straightened out now. And I'll just use these black magazines from my old gun and use these stainless ones in my new gun. Anyway, just something you need to be aware of if you think something like this be completely interchangeable. It's not. Okay, I've swapped out all these pads, put them back where they belong. And of course, I'll let you do a little comparison there on the length. Okay, I get the magazine bodies lined up, and you see that black body is considerably taller. I'd say at least 3/16 or more. Just who would have thought that they make the magazine body longer, and just so they could put a different pad on there, or base. Anyway, I'd swapped these and I thought they'll work fine. Then when I tried these fat bases on the stainless magazines, thought they'd work all right. And I actually had the magazines loaded up and ready to take the range, and I realized they wouldn't seat. They wouldn't seat all the way and engage the magazine catch. So during the process of making these videos, I realized that I got to looking at the body of these is considerably longer. While I was at it, also ordered a Wilson replacement springs and follower. So I wanted these are some old Chip McCormick. These things are 20, 30 years old. And that's the follower they had. There's no front guidance, and the replacement Wilson spring is it came up to about here in the bag, and had one more coil. So apparently these old springs had finally compressed and worn out, and I wanted to upgrade the follower. And now I got a new Wilson follower on there. I like it where you press on the nose and it goes down instead of collapsing. That was the one flaw in kind of Browning's design. He just didn't carry that through very well. Of course, I think he envisioned these as shooting 230 ball one time and drop it in the mud. And nowadays magazines are so expensive now you just can't afford to waste them. Anyway, I'm pleased with the new guts in these old McCormicks. It's a little challenge to get that last round in there, but I just tap on the rear of it and get it to settle, and usually go ahead and get the last round in there. I've got the other ones in there loaded, so now I've got 10 magazines for 2 guns. Here's the let's see, where did you get off to? There you are. There's the stock Kimber. These are pretty good mags. Notice they upgraded the follower. This is something they needed to do. And this is pretty much like a standard GI mag, 8 round. That base is just screwed on there, but it has the upgraded follower. And this one's made out of metal, where these Wilsons are made out of plastic. I've never had any problem with the plastic followers in these. In fact, I think they're just excellent. One thing you can do with the plastic is you can mold that to shape the, notice that's concave, to match the contour of the bullet, make for smooth feeding. So now we got plenty of magazines now, and these are nice and upgraded, so they'll work. And just something just never be aware of. You thought maybe I thought just swap these out because they do fit. They click into position okay. They just don't work. So if you do want to swap these out, you realize these are going to have to be fitted. And no big deal, I think, to take that down, take it on the sander, take a quick lick off of it, and check it against the gun a few times.